Hi, it's Will from StormTheCastle.com, and here on YouTube you know me as what? Epic Fantasy, that's right. And this is my latest tutorial. This is an easy foam board project. You can also do this with cardboard. It is how to make Excalibur from the new movie King Arthur and the Legend of the Sword. Right? Easy project, nice sword. See, let's take a closer look here. Of course, I give you the template. You just download and print up the template and use that to make your sword. It's kind of, I don't know how to describe this. It's kind of elegant. It's got clean lines. It's not, they didn't go overboard. And it has, the actual sword is pattern welded, or sometimes referred to as Damascus Steel. And we put that pattern in our sword blade here too, see it? So fun and easy project. Oh, and let me pop in a video here. I also have, if you want to do a stone, so you can have Excalibur, the sword, in the stone, I have a tutorial on how to make a fake boulder that would be perfect for something like this. Thanks for watching my videos. If you're a subscriber, thanks for subscribing. But let's, and remember, if you want to stay updated on my stuff, hit the little bell, the YouTube little bell, so you get notified whenever I post a new video. Dioramas, origami, catapults, and treasure stays, telescopes, terrariums, bonsai trees, and paper games, swords and shields, and real blacksmithing, model rockets, animation. I teach the art of real creation. StormTheCastle.com. Let's make something. Alright, print up the template. I have the link in the description of this video down below. It's a PDF. You just download it and then print it up. And it's small template, 3 pages, and cut out all the parts. And just a tip, if you want to cut the sword parts really straight, you can use a sharp knife and a ruler to do this. It makes for really crisp cuts rather than using scissors for the straight cuts. Oh, and I got a new X-Acto handle there. I love this new handle. It's very ergonomic. So you end up with 7 parts, just like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 4 of them make up the length of the sword. So take those pieces, they're labeled 1, 2, 3, and 4, and tape them together like this. And that will give you the whole length of the sword. So, an easy project, and I give you the template. You'll make this sword in no time at all if you want to have Excalibur. The new one. The new Excalibur from the new movie. There's a bunch of Excaliburs. I should make them all. That'd be fun. Wouldn't that be fun? Let me know in the comments if you think I should make all the Excaliburs from, like, I don't know, how many movies are there? 8, 10? That'd be fun to see all the different types of Excalibur. For the most part, I think they're very simple swords. So, alright, so take that sword template and lay it out on foam board diagonally like this. I've designed it so we get the maximum use out of our one sheet of foam board, out of a single sheet of foam board. For this project, you need 2 sheets of foam board, 5mm thick, and it's 20 by 30 inches foam board. My favorite is Elmer's. That's the best foam board. It's really durable. You can buy it at dollar stores for $1 a sheet. So lay it out on the foam board like that and trace it. There you go. You have the sword. Now do this a second time to get a second one. And that's because we want some strength in the sword. A single layer of foam board is too weak. You won't be able, it'll be good for show, but you won't be able to swing it around and use it much. So you want a second one. And now lay out your various miscellaneous pieces, like there's the guard, right? And trace those. And the pommel has got 2 pieces for the pommel. And trace 2 of each of them. Right? 2 guards, and you end up with 4 pommel pieces in total. So there you go. You end up with 6 miscellaneous pieces. We have 2 blades, 2 guards, and 4 pommel pieces. Now cut all your pieces out. And if you want to keep a nice straight edge on particularly the blade section, you can use a yardstick or something, a long ruler, to help you with the cut. So I cut out the sword blade, those 2, and then I cut out all the various little pieces. Oh, and I wanted to show you there a good rule of thumb. I think I got it coming up here. is when you're cutting foam board, 3 passes is how to cut it. The first pass like this cuts the top layer of paper. The second pass, you press harder and you cut the foam. And the third pass, you press down all the way and you cut the bottom layer of paper, and that way you get a nice, neat, clean cut. And replace your blades on your cutter, because it's sharp. You need really sharp blades for this. So let's assemble it. Put some glue. You can use white glue. You can use hot glue. Any glue that works on paper will work fine on foam board. Put a nice layer of glue on one of your swords, and then glue the other one right on top. And if it doesn't seem like it's right, when you're gluing the other one on top, flip it over if it doesn't seem like it's a little bit off. You might just have it upside down or backwards or something. And there we go. I like it. Yeah, it's a fun project. You know, it didn't take me long to do this, and I give you the template, so it makes it really easy. So now glue on the guard piece. You know, and having the guard like this gives it a little extra depth and a little extra strength. Then flip it over and glue your other guard piece on. There you go. Now let's do the pommel. The pommel's pretty easy. Glue the 2 pommel pieces together, one on top of the other. And then you glue on those extra pieces. I guess you could call them, they look like, I don't know, mushrooms or shoehorns or I don't know what. Glue that on like this. You know, and I tinkered around with different pommels, and they started to get complicated, so I was like, you know what, let me just simplify this and do a nice easy pommel. That looks pretty good. And then glue another one on the other. Flip it over and glue the final piece on like this. And there you go. We're going to fix that stack is a little bit crooked, but that's okay. We will fix that. I'll show you how. And then glue it onto your sword. You know, once you have all the parts, once you have a couple of sheets of foam board and you're ready to go, this project is going to take you no time at all, and you have a nice little sword. So that's that. So now I've talked about the stack and fixing it. See, when you glue together several pieces like this cut from a template, there's going to be some rough edges. So use your X-Acto knife and you know, clean it up a little bit. You know, make it all nice and even. Make it look like metal. The better you can, and then sand it, and sand all the edges all the way around the sword, including on the blade. But you know, don't sand the surface of the sword with the paper. You know, you don't sand that. I think I pointed that out. Don't sand that. Just sand the edges. Right. Okay, so now, an interesting thing, we are working on the handle here. And an interesting thing is on the actual sword in the movie, it has these nice little collars, golden collars. So we're going to make those collars, just one like this. It's about, I think that's what, about 3/16 of an inch wide, I think. You know, just eyeball it so it looks about right. And press down real hard with your pencil. See it like that? Now we have a little collar. And then press down, because making indent in the foam board is nice. It gives it a good look. It gives it a 3-dimensional kind of look. And that's what we're doing with the pencil there. We're indenting the foam board. And then do the same thing down near the pommel. About a roughly 3/16 inch little collar is what it actually is. There's one there and one there. I like it. Nice little detail. So now let's paint the handle. I mean, you could use just regular old red paint, but it's a little bright and almost a little unrealistic looking. Makes it look like a toy. And what you can do is you can mute that color a little bit with just a little bit of black. Not much. Start out with just a little bit. See? I just dab some on the brush, and watch what happens to the paint. It changes that color quite a bit. So, but see how wonderful it mutes it? Just softens it and makes it a little more realistic, like as if the handle is some kind of a red leather. And then paint the handle. Don't paint those collars, though. Those are going to be gold. You see how I avoided that collar? And there we go, all the way around. But I like it. I like this red. You know, that's a rule of thumb, you know. Don't usually except with silver and gold. Typically, you don't use the raw color. Okay, so now the handle's done. Let's paint the guard and the pommel gold. And I had trouble here. So I ended up having to do several coats. That's okay. I should have primed it first. But do several coats as you need to. You know, gold and silver paints are strange. They're not like other paints. They take some effort. And then paint the blade silver. If you don't have silver, you can use a light gray. And for the gold, if you don't have gold, use yellow. But there we go. Simple enough. Moving right along, we're almost done with this tutorial. You're going to have Excalibur in no time at all. Hey, make sure you send me a pic, because I will put the picture on my website and I will email you a certificate of contribution as a thank you. I've literally emailed at least 1,000. A lot of stuff. People love to make things. So now let's put the blood groove in, the fuller. My fuller is 3/8 of an inch wide, and you should go with that same width. It looks about right. And then use a straight edge to draw it with a pencil on the blade, right down the center of your blade. Just like that. So what I did was I marked the center of the blade and then offset in both directions by 3/16 of an inch, making, so it's centered right down the middle of the blade, and it's 3/8 of an inch wide. And just like that, and about 6 inches from the end, finish it with a circle. And there you go, and press deep, just like we do most of the time when we're using pencil on foam board, because that makes an indent that just looks good. See? Oh, now the Damascus Steel, or the pattern welded blade. If you remember the knife I made with the clear handle and the Damascus Steel pattern on it, that's a tutorial that I have, and I show you how to acid etch that and all of that. But we want that pattern now in our sword, except we're going to run it longitudinally. It's going to go along the length of the sword rather than side to side, the pattern, if you know what I mean. So just use a pencil and have some fun with it. Draw patterns like this. It's almost like, I don't know, camouflage or zebra. Not really zebra, but, just have some fun and experiment a little bit and just go most of the length of the sword. See? I just continued it all the way to about here. But that is pattern welded steel. And I thought it was a nice idea for them to do this with the movie sword, because it does have a reputation of being special, which it is special. Often referred to as Damascus Steel. But there we go. So now, let's wrap the handle, and this is a little bit different. We don't do this often, but I have done it in the past. Use a black marker and draw a line down the center of this handle like this. And the reason for this is because there's one in the sword in the movie. And look at the pommel, needs more gold. And then now you can use black wire, you can use black cloth, you can use black shoelaces. I cut thin strips of black leather to do this. And you need at least 2 strips because you're going to wrap in opposite directions. I'll show you what I mean. See, first you wrap a layer all the way around like this, like a barber shop pole, like that. Is that what that would be called? Like a corkscrew all the way around it. And then you wrap another layer in the opposite direction to form X's. And I ended up tightening up these X's, cutting some more leather and making longer pieces. Because see how there's 4 X's on the handle now? 1, 2, 3, 4. I ended up going with more. It looked better. And you'll see that. Oh, you can see it there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 X's. So now let's finish it all off by sealing it. And you can use Mod Podge, either brush on or spray on. Your choice. I used Mod Podge matte. If you have gloss, use that. And then just brush it on the whole thing. And it's white like glue, but it will dry clear. And it'll protect your sword, and it'll make it shinier and look more like metal. And that's that. So that's that. Thanks for watching my video. I have, over 800 videos now. Lots of projects you can work on, and probably 100 different swords. Hit that subscribe button if you're not a subscriber. And hit the bell.
Thanks for watching that video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're a subscriber, thanks for subscribing to my channel. If you're not a subscriber, hit that button. I always have lots of fun and interesting and very creative projects. I do 2 new ones every week. As an example, here's a couple more videos you might want to watch.